Will you please describe exactly how a castor oil pack works?
Yes. First, let's give some background into castor oil. It's a plant that grows mostly in the tropics or the semi-tropics. It has a gigantic leaf with many fingers. It's huge, it's kind of fuzzy, kind of dead green color. It grows by the waysides. And interestingly enough, it's a noxious weed. If you take it internally, they used to give it to women who were overdue in their pregnancies because it will cause you a tremendous case of the runs. It will contort and squeeze and push your entire intestinal tract in a fairly painful way to release whatever you're holding on to. The reason for that, esoterically, or I don't know what the word would be, in the way that communes with plants, the way the shamans learned, this is the attribute of this plant, and this is the gift of this plant to nurture or to heal humans, is that the castor oil plant, bean, they use the bean and they use the leaves, they use the whole plant, is what we would call a white light energy. Now, white light is the central frequency, and there are more than 200 shades of white light, most of which we cannot see with our naked eyes. Different speeds of radiation have to do with what we call white light. White light will clear out, again, the debris of slower vibrating energies. Negativity, for example, is a very slow, it will turn towards black, which is not a color, not light. It'll turn towards darkness, towards stuckness. And so the white light will come in and lift that energy. Now, it became known, probably hundreds and even thousands of years ago, in various different cultures who were very much tuned to the healing properties of plants. But it has become well known as the castor oil pack, especially in the United States, but internationally as well, through a very gifted prophet who was called the sleeping prophet, Edgar Casey, who gave thousands, I think more than 40,000, I don't remember how many, different readings while he was asleep about healing in a matter of a few years. And one of his favorite ways of healing people, bringing them into alignment, was to use the castor oil pack, the white light energy. Now, it's very interesting that from that time we have learned to use, again, the essential oils of plants because they're electrical. We're just now coming into a stage of understanding the human body as an electrical system rather than just a biochemical system. And I feel that this is the new wave of healing humans, and it will also be very much a part of opening the heart chakra because the heart is electrical. It pulses because of electrical currents, and you have fibrillation or pounding of the heart or whatever it is because your electrical system is being infringed upon by various different negative energies. And so he was right on schedule with bringing this particular piece of information into the world. And so what you do is you take the oil of the castor bean and you heat it and you pour it onto a flannel pad and you lay it over an area of the body that needs to be healed, and it will relax, it will absorb and release the negativity in that part. I have used it in many different ways with many different clients over the last 35 years or so. But I'll tell you a quick story of one. I was in Bolivia, and my 8-year-old son, I think he was about 8, yes, had gone to a kung fu class and smacked himself on something, some wood or metal or something, and gave himself a concussion and staggered home. I don't even know how he got home. I don't know why he was ever released from the place, but he definitely gave himself a concussion. And I remembered that Edgar Casey said that the white light castor oil pack would release the concussion. I now, through studying Chinese medicine, actually understand why. And the way you do it is that you put it over the intestinal area and the solar plexus area, over this whole part that releases negativity in the body and aligns the physiological body with the functioning of the brain. Partly perhaps because of the solar plexus nerve ganglion that comes up through the vagus nerve and affects the brain. So when he came home, he could not remember his name. He didn't know where he was. He just kind of fell into the house, and he definitely had a concussion. So I put the castor oil pack on him. Rather than vomiting, which is another sign of that, it immediately calmed his stomach, so he did no vomiting. And the next morning, he was perfectly fine. Within 2 or 3 hours, he said his name, and he remembered falling or hitting something. He remembered whatever it was. And I was truly amazed. But so, the castor oil entered in, quickened the electromagnetic frequency, lifted the frequency, so that the electrons in the cells could go back, instead of the free radicals crashing into cells, could go back into the figure 8 patterning. This is the way we feel that Jesus the Christ did his healing. Aligned the body in its perfection, allowed the electrical currents to go, bring his brain into balance, and whatever it was, whether it would have been in fluids in his skull or whatever, would have blood or whatever, simply aligned itself. The body absorbed it, rebalanced, and my son was fine. So castor oil packs are very good for women with menstrual problems. They're good for cysts or tumors. They're good for aches and pains, tremendous for aches and pains. You just never want to get it on your spoon or anything you're going to cook with, or otherwise you're going to have basic diarrhea afterwards. But in the body, of course, the skin does absorb it, but it absorbs it in a way that is not specific, so that it functions on an electrical or nerve level frequency rather than the lower blood level frequencies that cause us so much trouble.
So the body absorbs the castor oil?
Oh yes.
Rather than the stuff coming out of the body into the castor oil?
Both things happen, but not really. It isn't absorbing, it isn't sucking like taking a raw potato or something and sucking poisons out of the body. It doesn't function that way. It actually imbues through the skin a frequency, a high frequency of white light that allows the body, again, to go back into its patterning of health and rebalances all of the compositions. Remember that the skin, we forget this, that the skin breathes. It sucks in poisons, it releases poisons. It's the largest organ in the body. And so, kiss your skin and love will go through your skin, through your nervous system. Everybody try that. Just kiss your skin and pay attention. Pay attention. Delicious. Very sweet. Your skin can feel that. And your body responds. Our body is so perfect in its ability to perceive on many, many levels what is true.